Hello and welcome everybody to my devlog thing over about a text-based game that I'm making in C++. It's about like 100 lines of code with spaces and comments and everything, so it's not that much. It only took me like 20 minutes, and this is just the basics. Yeah, so up here we just have a bunch of like includes and using stuff. I need getch, which is basically accept one input thing at a time, so like a character you'll see later. Yeah. And then these are all the variables that are needed in a bunch of functions. That's the thing to make sure that we can call the functions later. This is the main. This is main. It's basically just the main loop. Yeah, that's basically the playing field. So that's a matrix, which is just the stuff. So it's the field of the playing thingamabob. That is the length or the width and height. I usually set that to 16 by 9, but I do it to whatever later on. Yeah, and then we change the playing field to be that size, so the width and the height. Take away one because, yeah. Or well, I had to take away one after the recording of this, but yeah. We fill it up with blanks to make it seem like a background. And yeah, so while the game loop, we render the screen, we get input, make it sleep for a bit, and then we clear it and we redo that just continuously, just like again and again and again. This is render screen. It just fucking renders the screen. Yeah. Uh. Yeah. Okay. So this is get input. Get input just gets input. It changes the player X variable and the player Y variable depending on which button is pressed. All right, so Y or like W is going to make it go up. It's down. That's it. That's basically all it is. We have it to make sure it doesn't go over with like screen height and stuff. And yeah, and we just say up here like, hey, yeah, PXPY. Starts off at 0, 0, so that means in the top left corner. But we can change it whenever we want, pretty much. And then, yeah, screen width, screen height, all that fun stuff. And then we have render screen. It basically just says our lives and our score that we're going to add later when we add the monsters and weapons and stuff. But then it just renders the screen if it's at the player position. We check if it's player X and player Y. Then it's just player, right? We write the player. Otherwise, we write a background thing. And we make sure that if it's at the end, we don't write a filler thing. Otherwise, we write a filler thing because otherwise it would just seem like lines, right? So we also have filler. Yeah. Also, we need a space in between because otherwise it looks way too like cramped. So that's why we have fillers. So we're gonna set the width to 16. Then we're gonna do that to 9. See, look, we have a screen. We can move around. It won't go out of the limits or anything, right? Like right now, you can see me just moving around in the middle. See, it can't go up higher. It also, yeah, shows our lives, and then it shows our score. Once again, it's not gonna change for a while until we add that in the next devlog, I think. Uh, yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.